in Pembroke.
Well,
So
Dave Shea, when he was the past chair, that
Yeah.
was his big thing, is
Yeah.
that we can emulate all the other chambers around us. But one of the biggest things is the Chamber of Commerce should be the community, should represent the community, not just the business.
Yeah.
yeah.
So and that's where we're at. I mean, we're promoting business, we're educating, we're helping people connect, we're advocacy for legislative advocacy and economic development. But the core thing is the people that work and live
Yeah.
in Pembroke.
Yep.
And the people who do business in Pembroke, or the people outside of Pembroke who do business in Pembroke.
And what about the people who are considering doing business in
Correct,
Pembroke?
correct.
Because I also sit, as you know, I sit on a couple of different boards in town, actually. I'm on the affordable housing, and based on being on affordable housing committee, we have a master plan committee also in place right now, so I'm sort of the representative from that. And that is what our focus is. And when we had our first meeting, it was, the name of the committee was the Master Plan Steering Committee, and I made a motion to change the name because I was like, steering to me sounds like there's 11 people on this committee that are just steering our town in one direction, and I think it should be more about collaborating with our community
Right.
and let us as a community build our town together.
Right.
So we have lots of exciting things going on tonight. Great
Oh
turnout.
my God, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
the right people that are here. And if you're driving by,
step on in.
please stop in.
Yeah.
But one of the things we want to articulate is that the Pembroke Chamber is back,
Yes.
and we're in it for the long haul.
We're
So,
in it to win it, for sure.
Exactly.
Actually, last week, Melissa and I were on the show, and I have been promoting our after hours for the past couple shows. And somebody from, he was the chair of the Marshfield Chamber.
Yes.
He heard me.
John.
He called
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
and he said, hey, congratulations. This is great that you guys
Yeah.
are doing that. So I thought
Yeah.
that was nice, too, because we are our own community, but you know what? We're also South Shore, and we're also connected that way.
very connected. And,
Yeah.
and Marshfield is a good partner for us.
Yeah.
Because we have a big corridor that we share.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the development that we want to talk about in the future is going to happen.
Yep.
And that's where we need those connections.
Yeah.
So,
I literally just Googled a business that I thought was in Pembroke, but it's actually in Marshfield. So it's funny. That's exactly what I just thought of when you said
Yeah.
that we have like sort of an
Yeah.
avenue together, because I literally thought a business was in Pembroke, but it's not. It's in Marshfield. So it's like right on the
We
line
love you,
there.
Marshfield. We
Yeah.
love you.
Especially the beaches. That's
yeah.
what we
Well, Mary Baker is here,
Yeah.
and she's a
team
team
member.
member with us here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and she said, "Is this the South Shore Chamber, or is it Pembroke?" And I was like, "It's Pembroke, but the whole South Shore is invited. Everybody's invited."
Exactly.
And anybody can become a member. Can you let people know how to do that?
So PembrokeChamber.org. Go to the website. It's very easy to join. We have an intern right now working for us, Aiden Baker. He's been amazing. So we'll have him reach out to you and give you
Yeah.
the do's and don'ts for the chamber. It's very easy to. It's $125. $25 goes to the scholarship fund, which we're deciding the scholarships this year for Pembroke High School.
Yeah.
We also work with the Pathfinders with Mary Ellen Gates to place interns. So it's a great thing.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome.
yeah.
And you were talking about development, and next in with us is going to be our chiefs. So the chief of
Nice.
the fire department, chief of the police department, and I'm also on that committee, which is the public safety building committee. And we are going forward to try, we have a proposed building, so we're hoping that we can have the support of all of the business owners here in Pembroke to get that for the guys.
So I will pop off and I'll go get them and I'll bring them in for you.
All right, that
Sharon,
sounds good.
Sharon, thank you very much for
Thank-
everything you do.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you,
guys are
Peter.
awesome.
Thank you so much. We
Thanks so
appreciate
much,
having
Peter.
you.
Yeah, so I feel like we're having well, I'm having a hot flash, but we're also having a great night. And Sharon is currently opening up a window, but she is nodding, agreeing with me. But we do, I think that, this event is so important, and it's so important, Sharon, to bring the chamber back. And I'm so sort of proud of you,
Oh, thank
little
you.
Miss Thing.
It wasn't really done just
Yeah,
by me,
but
so,
I'm proud of you
it
for
takes,
sort
it
of
takes a group of people
doing,
to make something
doing it all
really-
together. So.
So can you guys hear okay?
We can.
Okay,
Oh,
because
yeah,
there's, the buttons over there if they're too loud. So you just let us know at one point or another. So first of all, Mel, I think having Peter here, Peter doesn't give himself enough credit because he really does do so much for his community and for the chamber. So we're really fortunate to have someone like him here, and he definitely is standing behind our next topic. Probably because he knows that like the Dorchester in me would come out of me and hurt him if he didn't, because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. And we have two men with us tonight that are going to talk a little bit about it. So we have, why don't you guys do your introductions? We have the chiefs of our fire and police departments. So Jason, I'm sorry. I know I'm going to ruin your last name. So say it for me.
Viveros.
Yes.
Viveros.
I sort of like it.
Viveros.
Mine's not so sexy. McDonald.
And then we got Rick McDonald here from Southie. So no, he is the chief of our police department and the chief of our fire department. And Chief, you've only been with us. Oh, that's hard to say when there's two of you in the room. You both sort of like shook your head. You've only been with us a little bit. So how are things going so far in Pembroke? Everybody been nice?
Yep, things have been going great. I came on in June, and got to jump right into this project that had already started before I came here, and some exciting stuff that's happening.
Yeah, it's baptism by fire.
Absolutely.
No pun intended. Am I the first one to say that? I can't be. I seriously can't be. And then, of course, we have Chief Rick McDonald with us. Do you want to introduce yourself? How long have you been on and as chief?
As chief, I'll be 3 years in August.
Okay.
I did a year as interim,
Okay.
so it was a 1 year interview process.
Oh, okay.
It was interesting during COVID, but
Yeah.
I'll be almost 3 years.
And how long have you been on the Pembroke department?
25 years.
25
Wow.
years. Wow. Oh, that's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And you have triplets, don't you?
Irish quadruplets.
Irish
Wow.
I do love Rory.
Two sets of twins? Is that what?
No, we have
No,
triplets,
triplets
and then
are
Rory
enough
11
for-
months later. So for 1 month, they're all the same.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Ricky,
know.
Riley, Rory, and Reagan. Full blood.
Well, here's the thing. You posted a picture the other day, and I absolutely loved it. What I loved the most is that you took them out shopping. So,
like that.
yeah. So Dad took them out shopping for Easter. So we have some big doings going on in Pembroke, and as you know, I'm just so passionate about this, and I don't get that passionate about many things in my life.
Not cats.
No, not cats. Cats are not my thing. But touring the fire department one time and looking at all those reports from when they did things in 2016, it was shocking. Mm-hmm. It was literally shocking to me. And I think that's where I was like, I have a big voice, and I want to use it. So tonight I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to talk a little bit about the importance of what we're trying to do and what you're trying to do and what we want the town to stand behind us. And it seems like right now we have a lot of support from the businesses.
Yep.
Yeah. So who wants to go first? You, Chief?
So
Chief?
as far as the fire department goes, almost 20 years ago it was recognized that the fire stations drastically needed to be replaced. We've outgrown them. Our call volume since the time they were built has more than quadrupled. The same goes for our staffing. So they were built, when we had 5 or 6 firefighters, and now we have over 30 firefighters on duty. So we've really outgrown the space. Even the apparatus floor, the size of the trucks has really increased, where to a point that we have to squeeze between apparatus to be able to get to certain trucks. It's tight, a tight fit to say the least. And the conditions, the station's in really rough shape. We have structural issues that have been identified. We have asbestos issues. We have mold issues. We have a lot of problems at the fire station.
I think one of the things for me, again, is not knowing much about how is a fire station supposed to work and how it's supposed to all work out for you guys. One of the things that was so disturbing to me was after you go to a fire, not understanding all the contaminants that are on your equipment, and then and being in Mansfield actually was eye-opening for me too, to see the way it's supposed to be,
right,
and then to see how it is for you guys. You actually have to walk through where you eat,
right,
with that equipment on, and I'm just shocked that this is where you are, but
yeah,
hopefully for not too much longer.
The rates of cancer in the fire service are extremely high, and a lot of that's contributed to having, being in a fire, you're exposed to a lot of carcinogens. So the recommendations are to take your gear off in a controlled environment, take a shower as soon as you possibly can. And like you said, in our station right now, that's just not possible. We don't have the room for it. It's not how the station's set up. So we actually do the opposite thing, and our facility to wash our gear is we have to cut through our living quarters to get to that point where
Wow.
we can wash our gear.
Yeah.
So we're carrying all
Crazy.
those carcinogens through the stations. The firefighters aren't able to shower and do those types of things to prevent cancer.
And too, you're bringing it into your staff, like your, you know what I mean, your civilian staff, right, that are in there as well.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that isn't healthy at all. It's hot as hell in here, by the
Well,
way.
it's because we have the curtain closed.
Or
We never do.
because, you know, I had a
Or we had a
margarita.
margarita beforehand.
Yeah, that could have something to do with it.
Definitely weighs in, right?
Yeah, I know.
But the fire station, you gotta realize, I don't think Jason knows about the history as much coming from another town, but the police used to do the ambulance back in the day.
Oh.
When that building was being built. So you probably mostly call firefighters who would just do
Back
fire.
then, yeah.
So I don't know what year you get into the medical part when it comes to paramedics and more professionalized and obviously more call driven. So the dynamics of that footprint changed dramatically. Like the police station, when
Yeah.
it was built, there was no such thing as computers.
Yeah.
And that's our biggest tool right now inside the station, along with the server and the conditions to keep that server.
In your building, and again, I'm on the master plan committee too, and I didn't realize until I started rattling all this off that they are putting me on a lot of other things here, but I'm glad to be on that. It's because I'm part of the affordable housing. And I was going through the master plan one night at my first meeting, and I was like, whoa, wait, this was 20 years ago we were talking about this. How can this possibly be? The buildings were too small then. And now, 20 years, I mean, how many more people do you have there? I mean, your facility, Chief McDonald, is the pictures that we showed at the library when we did that event, you know, for the public. When I was looking at those pictures, and the one that captures my mind the most is the one in the boiler room.
With the lockers out?
Yeah, I mean, it just isn't even fair to the employees. And you brought up morale. You keep on bringing on morale. How is that really affecting? I mean, how does that affect everybody there?
Well, the fact that we are fighting for this and they see that as leadership,
Yeah.
they're hanging on to that,
Yeah.
hoping that we still, as a department, and I'm saying the fire too, are still appealing to other towns for some reason, even with
Yeah.
the new fire stations and police stations they have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something to be said about what's going on internally.
It's your leadership.
Well, I don't want to say just leadership, it's a team effort for sure.
Yeah.
But it does start with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a great team. I think, you know, we have Deputy Chief Wendy LaPierre is here tonight too. She's out there roaming around and mingling with everybody. And let's talk about her situation. I mean, she's a female. She was one of the first female officers, right?
Actually, number 2.
Number 2, okay. So, I mean, there was no place for her. And I remember when we went to Mansfield, we toured Mansfield in their facilities, and Wendy and I went into the female locker rooms, and it was like, they actually had like a little section for like, if you were a nursing mom, you know what I mean? Like, oh, all right, we're not even asking for that. We're just asking for a shower, right? So does she have a shower now? But she's up in the attic, right?
Yeah, and now we have 5 females.
Oh.
Yeah, so the
Oh,
bottom
wow.
line is, even your reserve officers should have a space because they have equipment, they have stuff that they need to store.
Yeah.
So if you look at my potential as far as lack of space, it's based on like maybe 20-something people. I have 60.
Wow.
When it comes to reserve, and it's just obviously not
What are
gonna
you
happen.
doing too? The other thing that was very surprising to me, and I don't know if you have the same problem, Jason, too, is, do I have to call you Chief? Chief? I just looked at you and said
Jason's
Chief. Okay. Like with your documents, because I know for me, obviously, owning a real estate office, we have to make sure that our documents are secured and locked up and things like that. Like your documents, like where you have to keep everything, doesn't make sense to me. And you just had an
So-
accident, right?
Well, we did. We had pipes burst, and our records are stored in the basement. Water goes down, goes right through the wall systems, and it damaged a lot of our records. And a lot of them are older records, but you still have to store them.
Yeah.
And when we went to Mansfield, prior to them opening up, part of their whole philosophy was paper-free and 20-free.
Yeah.
Because when we went to the records department, there was no records, actually.
Yeah.
Because everything was on the cloud.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had those big lockers. Remember, they had to bring those. They brought those big filing cabinet things in,
And they're empty.
They're empty. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on. So the select board, just last week, I watched from home. They finally they agreed to put the article on the warrant.
Yep.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
So,
Oh,
yeah, I
go.
think ultimately you can pick it back on. Initially, they were hesitant And I think that forum we had helped, show exactly how much we really has gone on over the past
Yep.
16 months. And I think when the support that came out and showed that support, I think they realized that, all right, there's more to this.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be the naysayers on this when it comes to
Yeah.
going to a town meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And many of them got to come see for themselves the conditions that, they had some questions, they came out, we showed them around the stations, and then we've put together a series of videos and other, other videos and things where people get to actually see what we're talking about. And at the same time, we've invited anyone from the public that wants to come to the fire station. They're more than welcome to call, and we're more than happy to give tours.
Yeah, and I thought Bill Chenard did a great job at the library that
Excellent.
night. Everything was well prepared and had all the information. I think it was good too that there was quite a few of us sort of scrolling the pages of social media just to see what the questions were. Like that's all we ever wanted to do is answer the questions. And I think a big part of there was a little bit of negativity that fell in there, but I don't want to highlight that. It was more like, the dismay of maybe people didn't know that all this was going on. And so much time was taken on the Turner House and what was going to happen with the Turner House. And hey, it's a historical building and I completely understand that, but I think that that's why we were sort of held back a bit. We didn't know if we were ever going to be able to go forward, so what are we going to tell you,
I think the thing is, was the fact that we were hoping that maybe on the select board side they were more engaged talking to us.
Yeah,
Maybe even asking us questions, knowing
Yeah.
that we're in place for over a year.
public meeting.
Yeah. So we assumed they knew more than they
Yeah,
did.
we did, yeah. And then what we have coming up next is the town meeting. So at town meeting, do you want to talk about what's going to happen there? And Bill, I'm sure, will do his presentation again.
So it's on the warrant, and it will be, people have an opportunity to vote on it at town meeting, and then we'll have to come back to the ballot, and it'll be voted at the ballot box also.
And I believe it's May 9th, Tuesday, May 9th. Do you know? Art?
May
Yeah.
9th is town meeting.
Okay, so May 9th is town meeting. And this is one of, obviously I sell real estate in our town. And one of the things I always say to people who are new to town is, it's such a great community. You can really get involved in government if you want to do that. And you don't have a voice until you come to these meetings. And, what I want is I want everybody to get their questions answered, because come to town meeting, we'll be doing all of that, or watch on TV if you can't get there. If you need a ride, give me a call. I'll give you a ride. I'll just, we'll have,
We'll get a bus.
We'll get a bus. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get a bus. If you can't get there, we're going to get you there, because your vote does count. And then more importantly is getting to the ballot, right? And that's 3 days later. We have to vote on this. Nobody wants to spend more money.
Right.
My concern is if we don't get this passed, it's only going to be more money. I just met with my developers last week. We had a luncheon, and a 3-bedroom ranch that he was building 5 years ago is 80% more to build the same exact house right now.
Right.
So things only go up. And that's what he showed, how things only go up too, right? Just the same way.
And I think that people actually see that when they asked about other stations that have been
Yeah.
built and why they're cheaper. Well, it's all about the escalating cost, and that would continue to happen if this, has to be pushed down the road. We're gonna end up with the same building, but we're gonna pay a lot more money for it.
And I think it's going to just make our town more appealing. I'm just going to I don't talk about this when we're in any of our meetings or anything like that, because I don't like to bring what I do as a living into that. But hey, we're on my show right now, so I'm going to say what I want. Rick's like, oh really? You're not going to hold back? But I'm going to say it's what a great place it will be to move to Pembroke. We have some great developments going on. We have the new community center that's coming on. We'd have a new fire station and police station, so we're calling it a public safety building. That's the other thing too, Chief. I want you to talk about how we're going to have 2 buildings.
Yeah, so
one in one row.
one of the things that's been exciting for me is that we're going to be able to improve our response times
Yes.
to a big portion of the town. So, we'll have almost the entire town under a 7-minute response time. And I'm sorry, the entire town will be under a 7-minute response time, but a big portion will be under 5 minutes, which is important, very important.
Yeah.
That's what a couple people have been saying to me, because people have been reaching out to me and asking, well, what about the people who live in the center of town? Now you're not in the center of town, so the response time isn't going to be as fast. And I'm trying to explain to them, it's actually going to be better for everybody.
Yeah,
so for the most part.
Right. So we'll have firefighters coming from both directions, depending on the call, and then but it puts the whole town in compliance with the recognized national standards. So it's important. That's really important. Right now we have a real high volume of our calls take place in the northern part of the town, and we just can't get there quickly.
Are you from Rhode Island?
I am from Fall River, Massachusetts.
Right near the Rhode Island line.
Did you pick up on that?
Day one.
Day one. Are you from Rhode Island?
Where are you from over there anyway?
You can tell I'm from Boston, so it's the same difference, right?
No, I said something earlier, and Rick looked at me, and I went parking. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to have another full show. We're going to do a full show with just talking about this topic, right before we go to town meeting. Are there any last thoughts that you have for our last couple minutes here that we want to get out to the public?
Just to kind of piggyback on his statement about response times.
Yeah.
Right now, they're coming from one side only. If you split the pie in half, it's only common sense that it's actually going to better the town response-wise, regardless.
And do you get more calls in the North Pembroke area too?
Especially during the day. It's very, very busy, and I would say the majority of our calls are in the northern part of the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that must have a lot to do with like Route 3 and things like that. I mean, what about for the police station? I would guess.
Well, because we're out there anyways, we have sectors, so we don't
Oh,
come
yeah.
from the building necessarily all the time.
Yeah.
So that really don't play into the response.
Yeah. That was the other thing too I was very surprised about was the Sally Port thing, so that will be nice to have a nice Sally Port and all that, and just I think it's important for us to keep you guys safe and girls also that are working with you guys, and you don't have any females.
We do not have any females, no.
So do you think it has something to do? I mean, how does that work anyways? If you have a position open, do people come and say, hey, let me tour your joint before I decide if I want to work there?
So right now, it's actually a really competitive job. Years ago, we used to post a position and we'd have 100 applicants for one position. Today, we're lucky if we get one or two applicants. And that's
Really?
the whole region is dealing with that shortage of paramedics. So when departments go to hire a paramedic, these candidates, I would say, almost interview the town. Like they want to see what the facilities are like. They want to see what the contract's like. So, we have to focus a lot more on recruitment. And obviously, we're not really in a desire as far as our facilities are not desirable.
Yeah. Huh, so if this real estate thing doesn't work out for me, can I do that? I want to be a detective.
Honestly, you'd be good at it.
I think I'm a little bit too old to be like, I'd be like, hey, can someone else pick up that hose?
There's not a lot of physical work in it. It's just observations.
Yeah. And can I have that job? I just want that job. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you so much. We have Chief from the Fire Department and our Chief from the Police Department. I appreciate everything that you do for the town of Pembroke, and even doing these community things. You guys are the best of the best, and we're very fortunate in Pembroke to have you guys uniting our community, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for doing this for us, too. Spending your time, whether it's a public safety committee or what you're doing here.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. So don't forget, we're going to have to do a couple more shows because
All right.
we have to get the word out there.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
did awesome.
Thank you so much.
What did you think of my slideshow anyways out there? Did pretty good, right? My little slideshow?
It was great. People
Yeah.
got to take a look, and
Yeah.
it prompted them to ask more questions about it, so I think it was great.
Perfect.
You're not on the air now, are you?
What's that?
Are you on the air now?
I'm still on the air.
All right.
We're live.
He was going to criticize it.
You know what? I had no pictures. I had to go on the town website. What did I do wrong?
It came out great.
Okay, perfect. All right, great. So we're going to get some more business. Hey, guys, if you could find somebody out there to come on in and talk about their business. So we really are so lucky, Mel. I mean, honestly.
Yeah,
And
we
they're
are.
so humble, aren't
I
they?
know. There's
Yeah.
I've never met Chief Viveros before,
Yeah.
so
So,
they're very kind.
Yeah. So I just want you to listen to this one. When this mic is on, it doesn't feel. So test over here.
Hello.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah,
like it's a little bit
it's a little off. It's
Yeah.
a little far. So that should be Mary.
Yeah, that's probably Mary's thing. So we have our next contestants. Yeah.
Yes, next contestants on The Price is Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So come on over, you guys. Take on
come on
the headphone.
in.
Actually, we'll have you do after our guests here. So just come on over. You have to just talk straight into that microphone. To all of our WAT listeners, you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. I am Sharon McNamara. I am the broker owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, which is the sponsor for our show here tonight, Talk Real Estate Roundtable. I am with the one and only Melissa Wallace.
Hello.
All right, so I just talked a whole lot to the Chiefs. How about you take this one on for me? I actually need some water.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
They're stuck with with us.
Hi.
Yeah. Well, you have been on with me in the past.
You have?
So, yeah.
Oh,
he has.
okay.
I had him on
Oh,
in the
yeah,
past
yeah.
when we talked about the community center. So he's here, and I'm sure that he is supporting our fire department and public safety buildings.
And by he, you mean Andrew Sullivan.
yes, Andrew Sullivan too. But did you go by Andrew or Andy, or what do you prefer?
What do you go by?
I like Andy now.
Andy.
Actually.
Yeah.
Andy.
So,
We
yeah,
have
need to
Andy
talk right
Sullivan.
I was always Andy, but I was kind of young in our industry, and Andrew, seemed
Yeah.
a little more proper.
A little more, yeah,
But
like
now
professional.
Now that I'm old, I want to go back to Andy.
Well, you know what? I've always been Melissa, and now a lot of people are calling me Mel, and I'm like, oh, are people going to think that I'm a professional still because I'm like getting a short name? But you know what? I feel like I should just roll with it at this point because I can't correct anybody. And then we
Better
have,
than a lot of other names.
yeah. Well, you know what? A lot of people call me Martha because they think that I say, hi, this is Martha. And they're like, oh, yeah, Martha's a nice name for you. And then we have Jill Doyle. Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourselves? Tell us, are you located in Pembroke or
we
in
are.
Surround? Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Give our listeners a little bit backstory of you guys.
Okay, well, I have Jill Doyle, our HR director, is with us here. She's new to Protect the Wire, but she's tagging along with me. And my name's Andrew Sullivan, President and CEO of Protect the Wire. We're located at 2 Washington Street, 60 Washington Street.
Yeah.
In Pembroke. My house
She's
is
like,
at
yeah,
2.
I'm new. I'm new.
No.
I commute through the woods. So. In any event, we manufacture special hazard fire detection systems that are used
Oh.
in the special hazards industry, mostly
Okay.
industrial sites, power, petrochem. Like the big dig would be the kind of projects
Yeah.
we get involved in. So not so much residential
Okay.
and light commercial. But our business is 40 employees and 65% of our sales are overseas. So it's kind of exciting. We get a lot of visitors from international, and it's an 85-year-old family business here in Pembroke.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I knew that I had heard that too. It was your dad's business first too, right?
That's
and then,
correct.
Yeah.
Yep. My mom and dad
Yeah.
had been involved in the business since the 50s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome. So I know that you've been also very involved in our town. We'll get into that one moment, but we're going to let you introduce yourself too. And you just joined their team.
I did.
She already wants a starfish, so she's going to get in touch with Andy, the fish guy.
I meant to talk to you about that. That's next on the list.
Yeah. Saltwater fish tank.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to have one.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about you. And are you from this area?
Sure. Yeah. So I live in Carver now, but I grew up in Pembroke.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And I started at Protect a Wire in December. And Andrew and I had a mutual connection, and they had let me know that their HR manager was retiring in December. And I think I knew about it almost a year in advance. And the way that they had told me about the company and kind of sold it to me, I was like, I want to work there. Like, please just hire
That's
me.
awesome.
So I had to wait quite a while before interviewing. So I got to hear a lot of backstory, and it's turned out to be everything they promised me it was. So it's been a great experience.
That's awesome. So, getting back to you being, a townie, right?
Yes.
I think. How long do you have to live in a town before you can be called a townie? Does anyone know? I bet we could ask Siri that question. Oh, we could ask ChatGPT. I bet you ChatGPT would know.
I'd say 30.
30
plus.
years? Okay,
30
I'm a
years.
townie. I've been here 30 years. So tell us, one thing I know you've been very involved with the community and specifically the community center. So tell us how that whole process is going.
Yeah, we're so excited. It's passed and it's under construction. They're actually ahead of schedule and under budget. How often do you hear that?
They had such a great winter, right?
Right, and we had a $3 million grant come through.
Yeah.
We tried to explain that to the residents that we wouldn't be able to go aggressively after grants until the project was approved through the town.
Yeah.
So, we were thrilled that money did come through once the project
That's
was
awesome.
approved.
Wow.
So we're under budget and right on, ahead of schedule.
We love that.
March of 2024.
I was going to ask that
Oh.
question.
Ribbon
March?
cutting over there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real game changer for downtown.
Yeah.
So we're so excited. It was a lot of work. Art was there through all this as well. That it was 5 years and a lot of meetings, but it persevered and it's happening, and we're really excited. And now we're here, supporting the public safety building, which
Yeah.
we're fully behind. It's if anybody's been here for a long time and got to look around, Pembroke Police and Fire are operating out of woefully inadequate buildings.
Yeah.
And, it's time for fixing that up. The town's growing, and it deserves it. And
It's going to make our town more appealing. I just said that when we had the chiefs on with us, and I think things like the community center and just, Shepherd's next door, they're going to be doing some stuff there. And I just think having that walkability for the center of town and for all ages, right? I mean, it's fun for a community center that has our council on aging in it, people can walk and do things in town, which is nice.
Yeah, and it's thoughtful too, though. I think the planning board plays a key role.
Yep.
But Pembroke could use some updating.
Yeah.
And we come back in a few years, and public safety and community center are in place. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah. It's awesome. I'm really excited about all the things. I remember how excited I was about the library, and I keep on saying the library is new, but it's over 20 years old, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I know. And I always keep on saying the new library, so.
And it's exciting to see the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce seem to have some fresh blood.
Yeah.
And it's really renewed energy there. Peter Brown's worked tirelessly, and Sharon has as well. That we're excited to see, businesses showing more interest in Pembroke and engaging.
And I think that these new things that we're doing too, I think that that's going to want people to come to our town and do things, to build their business here. So
Absolutely.
We have lots of businesses here tonight. Again, you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable, and I know it's a little noisy here tonight, but we do have the Pembroke Chamber of Commerce tonight in our building, and we're just having an after-hours event, and we're just all chit-chatting, and we're just giving all of some people some chance to tell us a little bit about their business. Any thoughts or final words you want to tell everybody about your business before we bring in the next people?
Change your batteries and your smoke detectors when you move the clocks.
Yeah,
that's a good
We
one.
always tell people that.
That's one of our favorite shows. So, and any final thoughts or final words for you other than you want a starfish?
Absolutely.
We're gonna make that
Yeah,
happen.
we're gonna make it happen.
We're going to talk to you one day. We're going to make that happen. No, just thank you so much for having us tonight. This was great.
Okay, awesome. And I think you'll be having an event maybe at some point at your place?
Yeah, in June we're hosting the chamber event.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I can't promise that I can bring the radio show with me, but you never know. Larry, you want to go mobile with me maybe that night?
Hey, we can do it.
Thank you for having us.
All
Thank
right,
you so much for joining
If
us.
you want to bring in somebody else, that would be great. If so, whoever's next. Oh yeah, come on, Art. We're gonna have Art come on
Yep.
right now. So
We have
Art,
about 8 minutes left.
Yep. Art Egerton is here, and he is a Pembroke resident. He's also on conservation as well. So, Art, tell everybody about your business. You do a lot of things here for us with our radio shows, and not with our radio shows, but with our video. Like you do a lot of video and stuff, for us. So, tell everybody about your company.
Well, that's my main business, Pembroke Town News. We do a lot of local interest stories all about Pembroke. And my other business is Aeronaut Drone Service, and that's more widely geographic. Right now we're working a lot with real estate agents and with insurance companies all around New England getting.
What are you doing for insurance companies? That's interesting.
Two things. We do surveys of the properties that they're about to insure.
Yeah.
Get pictures of everything, and then when there's damage, we go and get the assessment and what the damage is. And
Wow.
most of it's from the air, and then we do the ground pictures also.
Interesting.
That's awesome. And I do know that you do drone shots for real estate companies as well. So we know that. You've been doing a lot of our videos for our events, so we appreciate that. And do you do inside shots too? Yeah, you do the inside
I do
shots too.
everything,
Yep,
yeah.
you do it all.
So I have a whole background in video since I was a little kid, so it's just sort of natural. I'm into the drones, but I do the internal stuff too.
That's
combined.
awesome. Well, tonight I spent a lot of time with the chief, so we want to make sure we get some more people. So, Art, how can people get in touch with you if they would want more information about your business?
Best way is just to call me 617-947-5295.
Give that number one more time, a little slower.
617-947-5295.
Perfect.
And
All
I want
right.
to thank you for everything you've done for the town and everything you continue to do.
Oh, well,
it's
thank
great.
you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, taking us on, doing the videos and stuff. So thank you for taking us on
my
as a
pleasure.
client. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. We get back to video, and you have a job to do
All
here.
right.
Okay, so we have our next person
Our
who
next
is
person.
here. Yeah, I don't
Yes.
have my glass. Oh, my glasses are here, but we'll have Melissa do that.
Okay. Empowering athletes.
I know.
I'm not an athlete, but I'm willing to
In
be
my-
empowered. Jamie Doherty, you're the owner.
Yes.
Oh, hello, Jamie. Jamie, why don't you introduce yourself, what business you own, and I see you're located in Pembroke as well.
Yes, I own Empowering Athletes. I am a certified athletic trainer, and I work with any athlete from youth to adults, and we take a holistic approach on injury prevention,
Oh.
injury rehab, and sport-specific return to play.
Wow.
Can I make this about me one time?
Yeah.
For just a minute. I tend to do that
Of
on the show.
course.
So, I got to tell you, it was probably like 10 years ago. I was in my other office. I came out of the bathroom and there were no paper towels, so I just went like this with my hands, and water was on the floor. And then I slipped, cracked my head off the door, and fell on my hand. I broke my wrist. Well, I never did physical therapy, but I got to tell you, there are times that this thing just does this.
Yeah.
So is it too late for me to have physical therapy?
No, we can totally do that. We do a combination of manual therapies of myofascial, muscle energy, along with rehab exercises and stuff like that.
So tell me a little bit more about that whole holistic approach. What does that actually mean?
So we look at the whole body from head to toe when somebody comes in with a issue, and we try to find out where is it actually coming from.
Okay.
So we have a lot of athletes with knee, ankle, hip, shoulder. It isn't always coming from where you think it's coming from, where the pain is actually coming from. So we have to find out where it's coming from before we can correct and how to treat.
Okay, perfect. And so what type of client are you looking for? So your ideal client would be?
Our ideal client is usually middle school to high school kids in any type of sport. And then we do have some adults that we work with. But my main background is performing arts, because I traveled with Broadway shows for 4 years.
Wow. You should talk to Sue Bollinger.
Yeah,
because
I said that.
You said that? Okay, good. Yeah, because Taya had an injury. She's a dancer, and she had fallen wrong, and she had some. I don't know if you talked to her. I can't remember, but it was like a very rare break or whatever that she did, and she's just getting over it. But I think she has to go through physical therapy and stuff. So you should talk to her. Sue Bollinger is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and and I think Taya's 14, 15, so sort of goes right into that range that you're looking for. But I think that you would be perfect for her, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I was wondering if you were coming. Oh my gosh, we have so many people. We have 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yes, so Jamie, please, how can people get in touch with you and your business?
You can go right to the website of Empowering Athletes LLC .com, or we have an Instagram and Facebook, Empowering Athletes LLC also.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for coming tonight, too.
Thank you so much, guys.
Appreciate it. And we have 2 new people in.
Yes.
Hi, yeah.
I know. And
I know we have 3 minutes left.
Larry, you know what? Just tell Ed Perry we might have to go a little longer. No, I'm kidding. So we only have a couple minutes left, and I wanted to bring in a couple more people. So we have a wonderful select board here in the town of Pembroke, and all of them were invited, and 2 of them came. So just a quick second, because we only have a couple minutes. So we have John Brown with us, and we have Tracy Marino, right? I always say, because I always think that I'm saying your name wrong, even though I've known you forever, right?
No, you're right.
I have known you
I literally
forever.
said, is Tracy Marino coming tonight? And she goes, yeah, I think so.
Well, when
And
we
then
met,
walked
my
in the
last
door.
name wasn't Marino.
I know it wasn't.
That's
Yeah,
why.
That's why. I have a hard time with that. So I need you to speak a little in the microphone, because that's a little short.
Oh, yeah.
A little
So
short.
tell us, we had the Chiefs in. They did a great job. You want to give a little plug for what we're doing for, for the fire, for public safety buildings?
Sure. Now, I'm very happy, basically, this is going forward, that my board said we're able to put it on the ballot.
Yep.
Besides that, we want to make sure that our next meeting, which is happening on Thursday at 6 p.m. at Town Hall, we're going through certain things that we have to bring out more information to the public.
Yeah, perfect. And you guys did such a wonderful job when we were at the library. I have to give you guys did such a great job. Bill Chenard did a great job too. So I think that helped people get more information that they were looking for. So I feel like it's
and
good.
Also, our next forum is going to be at Tiny and Sons on May 2nd at 6 p.m.
Wow.
So I cannot wait for that to happen. And so many other people are very happy to be there at that time. So I can't
And that's
wait.
what we have to do, is just keep on getting the word out, because then they have to go to the ballot, and that's, we need their votes there. Yeah. Tracy, you have been a select board member for how long? And I know you're up for election again, right, this year?
Yes, finishing up 3 years this coming May.
Wow, that went by fast for me.
It kind of did.
Yeah, it was almost like somebody else's pregnancy.
It started off slow, and then it sped up a bit.
Yeah. So what are some of the things, I know you're on several little boards and committees, and we're going to get that dog park. God
Yeah, we are.
Damn it.
We need to circle back to that for sure.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe as part of the master plan committee.
Yeah, as part of the master plan committee, we can do that. So I sit on that with you as well. So what are some of the bigger highlights right now that you're well, we're running out of time. Something big and major that you're really excited about.
I would say the master plan committee.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this for a long time.
You toured the town today.
We did 3.5 hours. We went and visited a bunch of different locations and buildings. We couldn't even finish the list. We're going to come back.
All right, perfect.
Yep, it was nice.
Well, thank you guys. We're all done. They just finished us off. And you can get in touch with us at bostonconnect.com. Bye.
First choice for live team coverage of
Yeah, I know.
news,
I feel like I'm
emergency traffic, and severe
Well, you know why? Because it takes a while for you to get used to it in your ears.
Oh, hold on. We're live on Facebook.
Yeah. But
and with your
I
smart
had the
speaker
Chiefs on.
just by saying play
Good. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
live media,
full show with
and
them,
like
so
when I applied 2